Hello everyone, we are from Group 4 and we will present our discussion about transportation in tourism. And this is our group members. Before we begin our presentation, let me first show you the table of contents. Our presentation will start with an introduction, followed by importance of transportation in tourism. Then we will discuss different types of transportation, including land, water, and air transportation. After that, we will move on to sustainable tourism transport and make a comparison of transport modes. Finally, we will provide the conclusion and end with the references. Now let's move on to the introduction. Transportation plays a very important role in tourism because it connects people to a destination and influences their travel experience. However, transportation also brings challenges such as carbon emissions. To address this, eco-friendly transport options like buses and subway can help reduce the negative impact and make traveling easier. By understanding how tourists choose transportation, we can create systems that are not only more efficient but also more sustainable. Next, let's talk about the importance of transportation in tourism. Transportation infrastructure plays a big role in tourism growth and competitiveness. Good accessibility attracts more tourists, but it can also lead to problems like overcrowding and congestion. That's why it's important to balance tourist mobility with the needs of local residents. Encouraging the use of public and low-impact transport options can help reduce negative effects. For example, some destinations provide guest cards that allow free public transport, which increases its use among tourists. Lastly, factors such as socio-demographics and attitudes also influences how tourists make their transport choices. And the next part will be delivered by my friends.
Alright, for the land transport, there are several options that you can choose. The first is cars. Cars is flexible and convenient for a local travel and a small group, and personalized experience but may face a service and infrastructure challenge in adventure tourism. Okay, next is trains. They are comfortable, scenic, and environmentally friendly, and suitable for medium to long distance, and high-speed rail or HSR boost accessibility and tourism, and moderate infrastructure growth and projected. Next is buses. The buses is cost more effective for a group and a budget for a traveler, wide coverage or connecting multiple attractions, and BRT system is expanding service quality issues in some areas. It's like, for example, like Chiapas in Ecuador. And the last is metros. Metros has a rapid urban transit and reduce congestion and support smart tourism and sustainable urban mobility.
Next, I will explain about water transport types. There are 6 types of water transport. The first is ferries. Ferries are one of the most common types of water transport in tourism. They move people, vehicles, and goods between islands or across rivers. For many tourists, ferries are not only a way to travel but also part of the experience itself, offering sea views and sometimes services on board. Many studies show that travelers now want ferries that are modern, comfortable, and easy to book online. The second type is cruise ships and yachts. Cruise ships and yachts are larger vessels that combine transport with leisure. They provide accommodation, dining, and entertainment while sailing, which makes the journey itself the main attraction. These ships are usually stopped at several ports and are popular in coastal tourism. The next is tour boats. Tour boats are smaller vessels used for short trips such as sightseeing, snorkeling, or river and lake tours. They are important for natural attractions like coral reefs, waterfalls, or mangrove forests. Tour boats often provide guided experience, making them popular in marine and ecotourism. The next is water taxis and urban ferries. In cities with rivers, lakes, or harbors, water taxis and small ferries are used as a quick way to move around. These are not only practical but also give tourists a unique way to see the city on the water. The next is traditional boats. Traditional or cultural boats are part of heritage tourism. Examples include wooden sailing ships, outrigger boats, or other locally designed vessels. These boats allow tourists to connect with local culture while traveling, and they are often used in ecotourism or cultural festivals. And the last is recreational watercraft. This category includes kayaks, canoes, sailboats, jet skis, and houseboats. They are mainly for leisure activities rather than simple transport. Recreational watercrafts are often used in adventure tourism or nature-based tourism.
Okay, next I will explain about air transport. Air travel is the fastest way for long-distance trips and plays an important role in global tourism. It helps people travel quickly and comfortably between countries, saving time and increasing convenience. Direct flights make it easier for tourists to reach far or remote destinations, which makes travel more attractive. In addition, international flights networks connect many countries and open more opportunities for tourism and business. Therefore, air transport is not only important for connecting people around the world, but also becomes a key factor in the growth of international tourism. That's all I can say. The next material will be delivered by Ajiad.
Okay, now I will explain about sustainable transport in tourism. This topic focuses on two main ideas. The first is how it promotes eco-friendly travel, and the second is how it reduces environmental impact. Okay, so the first promotes eco-friendly travel. In number one, public transport. First, we have public transport such as bus, trains, or shuttles. According to Bud and Ison 2020, when tourists choose public transport, it reduces car use, lower fuel consumption, and even support the city's transport system. So it helps both visitors and local. And the second is biking and e-bikes. Next, according to Zhou et al. 2024, cycling is growing in many cities because it is healthy, low cost, and produce zero emission. Bike sharing program also make it easy for tourists to explore destination. And then walking tours. According to Wu et al. 2021 explained, walking is the most sustainable mode of travel because it creates no emission, costs nothing, and gives tourists a closer cultural experience with local communities. And the second is about reduce environmental impact. Number one, lower carbon emissions. According to Peters et al. 2019, shifting from private cars to sustainable transport significantly causes carbon emission, which is important to slow down climate change. And next, about cleaner air and less congestion. According to Scrutiny 2018, also found that when tourists use bus and trains instead of cars, it results in cleaner air and less traffic congestion. This makes cities more enjoyable for both tourists and residents. And the next about protecting destination for the future. Finally, sustainable transport protect destination. According to Gosling April 2021, reducing pollution help preserve natural and cultural attractions so future generations of visitors can still enjoy them. So, for the conclusion, sustainable transport is not just about moving from one place to the another. It is about choosing eco-friendly option that reduce environmental harm and ensure that tourism remains enjoyable for everyone now and in the future.
Okay, so before we talk about the comparison of transport modes, let's first understand what transport mode actually mean. So in simple words, transport modes are the different ways tourists move from one place to another. For example, a trip might start with taking a plane to another country, then taking a bus to a hotel, and later renting a bike to explore the city. And all of these are different modes of transport. So, in tourism, transport is not just about moving from point A to point B. It really affects the overall travel experience. Tourists usually think about comfort, cost, and also how eco-friendly the choices is. For instance, flying is fast but less sustainable, while walking or cycling are greener and give a closer look at local culture. So, transport choices matter a lot in shaping our travels. So, now that we know what transport modes are, let's take a look at the main types used in tourism. So there are air transport, like my friends that already explained, road transport, rail transport, maritime transport, and non-motorized transport, for example, like walking and cycling. So these are the basic categories of transport mode in tourism. Now let's take a look at the picture on this slide. It shows different examples of transport modes that tourists often use. The first one is walking. So walking is the simplest but also very meaningful. It's free, healthy, and doesn't cause pollution. When tourists walk, they can enjoy the local streets and culture up close. But of course, walking is only good for short distances and can be difficult if the weather is too hot, rainy, or cold. Next is the rickshaw. So this is very common in many Asian countries, especially in Southeast Asian. So rickshaws are good for short trips, and they also give a cultural experience, something that feels unique and different. The weaknesses is they are slow and can only carry a few people. Then we have the city bus. So buses are cheap and easy to find, and they can carry many passengers at once, but this makes them more efficient compared to cars. But the problem is, buses often get stuck in traffic, so sometimes they are not on time. So the city taxi is another option. Taxis are comfortable and can take tourists directly to where they want to go, which is very convenient, especially if they carry bags or travel with family. The weakness is that taxis are more expensive than buses, and they produce more pollution because usually only one or two people ride in them. So now let's move to the rail metro. So trains and metro system are very useful in big cities. They are fast, reliable, and can carry many people at once. They are also better for the environment compared to cars or taxis. The weakness is they only run on fixed tracks, so they cannot take tourists directly to every location. So after that, we have the feeder bus. So this type of bus is usually connects neighborhoods to a bigger transportation like the metro. It makes public transport easier to use. The weakness is that the same as a city bus, it still depends on the traffic on the road. Next is the city water bus. So this type of transport is important in cities with rivers or near the sea, like Venice or Bangkok. It's not only practical but also gives a nice scenic view for tourists. So, however, it is usually slower and depends on the weather or water condition. So finally, there is a biking path. So cycling is eco-friendly, cheap, and lets tourists explore areas that cars cannot reach. Many cities now have uh, now have a bike public bike systems are enjoyable, but there must be a good bike lanes, and it can be uncomfortable when the weather is bad or when the city is too crowded. So, when we compare all of these modes, we can see that each one has its own advantage and advantages, and tourists usually combine different modes in one trip, depending on their budget, time, and travel style. So that's why we call it multimodal transportation. So, in conclusion, to wrap it up, tourists depend a lot on transportation because it connects tourists with destination and makes travel possible. But transport also causes problems like congestion, noise, and pollution. That's why using sustainable options such as public transport, walking, and cycling is so important. In the end, transport in tourism is not only about moving from place to place, but also about protecting the environment and supporting local communities so tourism can last for the future. So I think that is all for our presentation. Thank you very much for the attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.